Oh, all right. We are live. Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all at MEIC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin, and I have Ojas Bhai with me on the stream today. Ojas Bhai, hi, warm welcome to you. Hopefully, you're doing well. The transfer window has all obviously begun, and I think we've been seeing a flurry of activity from from different clubs. Chelsea have begun their wholesale clearance, while at the same time bringing in a few players that they've agreed deals with since last year. Uh, we also have the likes of Arsenal trying to get sure that their business is done. City trying to strengthen their treble winning squad, and then we have the likes of Liverpool who've already made their first signing in the form of McAllister. And here we are, we're still stuck. We don't know who our new owners are. And at the same time, we are in for a raft of players, but there is not a lot of activity that is happening on either side of the spectrum. So, first of all, before we get into the main crux of the matter, Ojas bhai, my question to you is, what do you make of the start of this transfer window? I mean, are you actually surprised with the way that things are going along in the transfer market, or what exactly?
With respect to our club, I'm not surprised at all because this is what has been happening for past couple of seasons now. But regarding the other clubs, I think they are on the right track. I believe Liverpool did start, but they are also stuck somewhere. They are looking for midfielders. Chelsea, Manchester City are doing good. Both are Saudi funded. Newcastle are almost done. I guess two or three signings more for Newcastle. So overall, the only club that is not doing well at all is Manchester United right now. We had to do one or two signings before I think in the first week of transfer window only, but we have been unable to do so. And if we keep continuing on this track, we won't have players for new signings for preseason. And preseason is like very important. Like Casemiro and Anthony, I guess they missed the games for preseason, although they performed decently. But even players like at this level know that when you get into a new team, the chemistry is different, the type of playing style is different, and you somehow need the adjustment period through the preseason. And I think so. If you, I'm not saying all the signings, but the important ones we should really complete before preseason, so that the players are on the plane.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Because I think the last time we did this, that we entered into the preseason with just one signing, and that was Malasia, while the rest of them began to follow suit sooner rather than later. I don't think that should be the case this season around. If that does happen, we are basically once again tying our managers both hands behind the back, and then that becomes a problem in itself, and we do not want that to repeat, especially at a time when things are looking up as far as the performances are concerned. We've just come off of the back of a third place finish and a trophy after a long while. We want to keep that good run going, and it only makes sense that we back the manager whatever it is. Coming to the important point at hand now, it's no surprise that we are in for Mason Mount. This is a story that has been going on for the past 2-3 weeks, and I think all of them know that we've already put in three different bids, each of them a much better one than the previous one. But all the three times we've been met with a stern rejection from Chelsea, who still believe that a player of Mason Mount's contract situation is worth 65 million. Now, for now, we have rightly backed out of the deal, or so it is being reported by a vast section of the English media or the various other media outlets, if to be believed. We have we've kept the same bid that we have, the latest bid, on the table, but we are adamant that we're not going to overpay for Mason Mount. That is not go anywhere above the current bid, that is, I think, 55 million, if I'm not wrong. I think the
Yes,
latest bid is 55 million.
it's
Yeah.
50 plus
So
5. It's 50 plus
50
5.
plus 50 plus 5 amounts to 55 if we round it off with the add-ons and all that stuff. So my question to you remains, Ojas bhai, do you think Manchester United were right to stop at this particular price point, and focus their attention on another attainable target, or do you think that maybe there is another bit that should have gone through if the manager did want the player so much? I, for one, believe that United did the right thing. We've had a pretty checkered history of overpaying for the players that we want, and for once we are doing the right thing by stopping the buck right there and making sure that the offer is on the table whether or not Chelsea play hardball or not. What are your thoughts on the Mount situation?
It's out of respect for Chelsea that we are still in this place, that we are um ready to listen to that Chelsea also, that what exactly do you want from the deal. Otherwise, for a player in the last year of his contract and pretty much absent in the previous season, yeah, 50 plus 5 is too much for Mount. For that, I believe that I'm not saying that everyone should believe, but for me, even 50 plus 5 is a very good transfer money. I think if I was Chelsea, I would happily accept it, because Mason Mount has already made his mind in April only that whether Chelsea accept their bid or not, he will move on. And God forbid if if you don't accept and Mason Mount goes on free, it's like it is going to be a very big loss of 50 million to Chelsea. Pretty much 40 plus 5 should have done it for Mason Mount. Out of respect, again I keep on saying this word, out of respect for a Chelsea, they are our rivals, they are a big six team, although they finished 12th last season. But it is just out of the respect that we are still in the race. We are still listening to Chelsea. Okay, we can negotiate like that. Otherwise, this deal has already crossed the line of the amount being discussed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a now we know that Mason Mount does not want to sign a contract extension with the side. All of Chelsea's efforts to trying to tie him down with a long term contract have not worked so far. The player is adamant on a move. United do want him. My I've been talking about a potential solution here. I've been met with a pretty mixed response as far as this solution to acquire Mount is concerned. So my solution was pretty simple. I'd like to know what you feel about this. So my solution to end this entire Mount situation once and for all is get Mount on a season-long loan. I think a 7 to 8 million loan fee should pretty much do it for this season. But in the negotiations, make sure that you indicate to Mount that we'll offer you a 15 million signing bonus next season when you become a free agent. And when you're not contracted with the club, you join us on a permanent, we give you a 15 million signing bonus. And then I think that more or less should seal the deal. Because A, we get the player out of Chelsea's books. B, a potential 60 million player comes around 20 to 23 million. So I think that could be a pretty nifty move if the financials are to be considered. So what are your thoughts on this particular deal?
Yeah, it's like it looks good on the paper, but really it's not possible because Chelsea won't accept any loan fee for Mason Mount right now. All they need is money. They are trying to fund the shopping cart that they filled in December regarding the new owner. They already are in the FFP guidelines. They have to follow that. They need to sell the player. They will sell Mount and they will sell to us. But if they don't, it's like one of the most stupidest decision of Chelsea board that I will see. It is absolutely complete deal. I guess for whatever abuse that our management faces, it is pretty much a very strong point done by our management. Whoever our recruiting team is, that it's on the table, whether you take it or not. We are not going to negotiate on that. It's a pretty much good deal. And if the loan thing that you're saying, it is not possible because Chelsea will not accept any loan fee. They will not let the player go for free. So only the last option is they have to accept a bid, and they have to accept a bid soon.
Yeah, apparently there has been talks about Chelsea representatives coming and having a face-to-face discussion with the United representatives on the future of the Mount deal. Is what I have heard and what I've read recently, and it is also met to and immediately after the news came out that United have backed off temporarily. Another name has popped out, and that is Moises Caicedo of Brighton. Now, the Moises Caicedo deal is a much more trickier prospect. We have two clubs who are already in the running for Caicedo. One of them is Arsenal, who did try to get him off Brighton in the January transfer window, but unfortunately that did not materialize. And now all of a sudden it seems that Chelsea is in the front running for the player. If Fabrizio is to be believed, uh, Chelsea already have had personal terms agreed with the player, and it is only a matter of the fee that is to be sorted out. But currently, Chelsea are pretty busy with their clearance sale. We're trying to offload players before getting any more players on board. So their main focus right now is getting as many players out and acquiring the funds, as much funds as possible, uh, to get in a particular set of players. Now, all of a sudden, it's been reported that the interest has shifted from Mount to Caicedo for United. Now, the problem here is uh, Brighton will not do business for Caicedo for anything less than an 80 million or a 75 to
70
80
plus 10.
million price.
70 plus 10.
70, yeah. So basically, anything less than 80 million, I don't see Brighton doing business with us. And with the amount that we have, and with our difficulty to offload players, like it's very obvious, if they're right there in the public eye that we're still not able to offload any of our players that we want to. Uh, what do you make of the situation? Do you really believe? Because the Muppeteers have gone on record and very ambitiously said that United's interest in Caicedo is pretty genuine, and there is something that can happen from the Caicedo standpoint also. But do you realistically believe that there is any scenario here that we'll be able to do business with Caicedo and get that number nine that we are looking for, or get that goalkeeper that we are looking for? Because the midfield is not the only area that we require reinforcements in. We have the striker position to look at, we have the goalkeeper position to look at, we have another centre back position to look at. So there are multiple other areas that we need to look at. So, with all this being considered, do you genuinely believe that there is a realistic chance that we do make business as far as the Caicedo situation is concerned? Because Prakash himself said that Brighton will not be selling Caicedo for cheap, and that is a given. Like, I don't see Brighton doing for business anything less than 70 million. Like you said, it's going to be 70 plus 10 if it has to. But anything less than 70, I don't see Brighton doing business. So, what are your thoughts on United in for Caicedo? Do you think is this going to happen or what exactly?
No, obviously we have been interested in Caicedo. He's a good player, but the the management with right senses will know that the 70 million has to be absolutely worth it. When you spend this amount, you have to find the missing piece in your team. Like when we spent 70 million for a 30-year-old CDM, we knew that it is going to be an important signing for us because CDM is a position we had to fill for past 3-4 seasons. We paid for that. Caicedo is a kind of player that really doesn't suit. Uh, I won't say suit. It doesn't. It is not an urgent requirement in United's midfield. We need a kind of a midfielder who is an orchestrating midfielder who presses high and has an agile movement up and around the box, which I don't believe Mount is completely into that. But overall, because Mount has has a kind of technical ability that suits the game that both will allow Bruno to sit deep also. It somehow 50 million for Mount seems a very good deal. If Caicedo is agreed around 50 million, I guess it's a pretty good deal. But for 70 million, no chance. No, I 70 million is really not worth for Caicedo. And I'm what I'm hearing is that United is ready with the bid for Caicedo. They are ready with the bid. They are going to bid in the coming week, and if everything goes through, I don't know. It's a triple threat match going on. Then Arsenal, Chelsea,
Because
and
the
Manchester United.
problem here is that while you spoke about the profile, Caicedo is a very press resistant midfielder. He is very comfortable playing through the press. He also has the box to box ability. He can pass well. He can defend well. He becomes an able understudy to Casemiro also, and can play in an independent position by himself as well. So that more or less, fulfills ticks most of the boxes that Ten Hag is looking for in his profile of a midfielder. But here's the interesting question. So Amay, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. So Amay's question is a very interesting one. So if we do go out all out for Caicedo, which, like you said, it could be a potential possibility of United going all in for Caicedo. Do you think that De Gea extending his contract becomes a matter of formality? So let's just talk about the De Gea situation for a bit. It's only 5 days left until De Gea officially becomes a free agent. His contract runs out on the 30th of June. Uh, there are a lot of talks and a lot of murmurs going around that an agreement has been reached in principle, but there is no announcement, no here we go, no format, nothing of the sort from the likes of a Fabrizio or an Onstein to say that there is a total agreement and contract between De Gea and United, which more or less means that this saga is dragging out, and I don't think it looks it is a pretty good picture for De Gea. So what is the situation here? Do you think that if we get Caicedo, De Gea stays on, or what? Or do you think these two situations are independent from each other? What exactly it is?
Yeah, I think I won't disregard what Ame is saying. But truth be told, Ame, the both deals are working separately. Caicedo is a deal that we are working on separately. These are what sources are saying, and a goalkeeper situation is something we are, operating separately. We already have shortlisted couple of keepers that we want to, as a profile, we want to bring to the club. But the keeper situation doesn't depend on De Gea. Caicedo. So Caicedo's situation doesn't depend on De Gea. Caicedo is a different thing. What depends on the keeper situation is what happens with Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson sale or not being sold is what really will help us to determine what kind of goalkeeper we are getting. If the sale doesn't happen, we are in a strong position to renew the contract, because ultimately we need the signature of the person that is most important in the board. I guess so. There are people who are resisting to signing on that document. Otherwise, they has agreed personal terms with us. It is 200 to 210K in wages for 2 to 3 years of contract, extendable to 1 year. But the important people are those that have to sign that document to complete the contract negotiation. And right now, the board is not ready to sign that document. He needs the board needs the players around them to know what is the situation around the club, and then accordingly we will act. Otherwise, both deals are pretty different, and if Dean Henderson somehow gets the right amount, we are going for a goalkeeper, irrespective of De Gea stays or not.
Do you think there is another interesting theory that Lakshya Nair has gone? Lakshya, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So Lakshya thinks that Caicedo is a smokescreen for Mount. Now, this is a very interesting way to look at things. Also, all this talk for Caicedo maybe is just a ploy to get Chelsea on the table and make sure that the deal is agreed. Do you think that this could be a possibility as well?
Yeah, it can be a possibility, but pretty strong sources are saying that we are ready for the bid for Caicedo. So if Chelsea wants us to pull out of that deal, they have to accept our Mount offer, because that will be just done for it. So it can be a smooth scene. Otherwise, it's like we have kept an offer on the table for Chelsea for next 7 to 10 days. Either take it or leave it. But we are going to bid for Caicedo. We are looking to bid for Caicedo. That is pretty much what the very important sources around the club are saying. So it is a very good game of chess that is going on, and I still believe that all three clubs are just overpaying for a player. But that is not my money. That is their money. That is what they believe it is. But it is a very interesting situation, and everything will be clear in the next 7 to 8 days. But we are in a position where we will bid for Caicedo.
Lakshya also says that if Caicedo does end up coming, we might only get one of either a striker or a goalkeeper. Yeah, I think that's a pretty realistic way to put things at, because of the budget that we have. Yeah, I think that is a very realistic assumption to make, Lakshya, because provided if we do not make the required number of sales that are expected to, yeah, then it would come to picking up the lesser of the two evils. So at this point, I would rather, if we do not get the required amount of sales, I would rather get shift my attention on a number 9 than a goalkeeper at this point, because we need to score more goals. Saving them is not an issue. Like we can it has to come down to a point where we need to score goals. I mean, we have one of our most influential midfielders who's created the most chances in the Premier League, but uh, he's not. The players around him have not been able to take those chances, so that becomes a big problem. And for us as a team, the need for a striker is much more pressing than a goalkeeper. Kushagra asks, who do you guys want personally? But to be really honest, Kushagra, I think right now Caicedo is the overwhelming favorite for me at least. I would want Caicedo in my side. I gave my reasons earlier. He's press resistant. He can do a little bit of everything. He's young. He's 22 or 23, so also fits the criteria. Uh, gives a much gives us a great understudy to Casemiro, who of course will not get any younger from here on. And then there will come a time where we will have to pick and choose his minutes as well, not only because of his advancing age and fitness permitting, but also because of that mean streak that he has. Uh, I know this, but I know very well that he's prone to these rash moments, and he's already come in with a reputation, and he'll enter the new Premier League season with more notoriety as far as the propensity to commit a foul is concerned. So for me, Caicedo is the preferred option. What about you, Ojis? Do you agree with me on the lines, or do you have a different
Yeah,
opinion as
yeah.
far as who you want?
See, for me also, Caicedo is a superior player. The profile that we are looking for, that we need along with Bruno, what Ericsson was not able to do was catch up with the momentum of the game. That is what Mount does. He just takes those positions that help our forward line a lot. That will help a forward line a lot. But Caicedo overall is a player that is above Mount for me. He's a very good player. He can play both CDM and CM, and of course a backup right back also sometimes. But we are already done in that position. It's something that if I have to choose as a player, I will choose Caicedo. But if I have to choose as a player that will suit the team right now, for me it is that player specifically. It's Mount, and it will help a lot than Caicedo, because Caicedo is a little bit expensive also. So that if we want somehow a McTominay or Fred leaves, we need another midfielder. We won't have the budget to spend on a midfielder. So you have to spend wisely. You have to spend it on players that are good, because you are in a Champions League season and you need the quantity with the quality. So pretty much does it for me that Mount is the answer. Again, an English profile. Also, we have to look at the quota. If everyone is watching this video, we have a quota for English players that we have to
We need
fulfill
to
as
fill
Premier League.
the homegrown quota. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, so that is why, even if I know people are not agreeing to this, but because City and Arsenal are leading in that, Rice is also a very good option if we have to spend 80-85 million in a deal, but it won't be possible. So I guess
एक
Mount
काम
Mount
करते एक काम करते हम ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड गिरवी ही रख लेते हैं वैसे भी
no.
तीनों आ जाएंगे कुछ
लीवर खींच देते हैं लीवर.
हाँ let's let's buy rice by giving West Ham rice.
नहीं नहीं,
that's that,
but
that's a
it's kind of a situation where I see, even if I've seen Caicedo in if Brighton have played 150 games last season, I must have only watched 15 to 20. So I've not watched him that much, that thoroughly. But I guess the player that we are looking for right now is Mason Mount, and for the financial burdens that we have on ourselves, I think Mason Mount deal is perfect for us.
I think it makes a lot of financial sense too. You've been keeping on repeating the word financial sense, and that is something we have to look for in all our deals, basically, not just this one, even in the future deals that we make, because the biggest elephant in the room is the takeover situation. As long as that is not rectified, we can go all in all about prospective targets or whoever we want or whoever we do not want. But if there is no new owners, it is all that there is to it, and it is going to be just talks. So when the ownership thing is going to happen, God alone knows. It's just getting it's getting to the point where It's either the fans are alive or the Glazers are alive. It just comes it just comes down to that. It is becoming very frustrating. You know, it is they've sucked all the joy, all the excitement that we had when it was announced. Everything is gone. At this point, all the majority of the fans are just waiting for it to just announce it and just get it done. Like it's becoming a facade at this point. It's becoming a farce. Everything is being handled so badly. Like you just want closure at this point. Just give us that closure. Like we won't even celebrate it properly. We just breathe a sigh of relief and just get on with it, because that's how desperate we are now. And it sees, I've had conversations with a lot of United fans in the past few days when I was away, and the 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 answer is the same. यार सब एक्साइटमेंट ही चले गया यार. मतलब इन्होंने इन्होंने जो भी एक्साइटमेंट था, जो जो भी एनर्जी थी, जो न्यूज में थी, सब सब चूज के निचोड़ लिया है इन लोगों ने. अब कुछ उठने को मन ही नहीं करता है. ट्विटर पे न्यूज देखने को मन ही नहीं करता है. There was this one point where it was announced that the 9-2 foundation was incorporated and so on and so forth. There were these 2 days where everyone got their hopes up so immediately, like so fast, like up to hona hi hai, and then we've just gone down from there. So like I just don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. So coming to the goalkeeper situation, which is why we already spoke about the hair a bit. Like, are you really sure that the De Gea extension will happen? Because let's be honest, there are only 5 days left, and there is no news whatsoever. Like absolutely no news. There is no news about him extending a contract, but there is no news of him about the fact that he's going to leave the club as a free agent as well. Basically, there is nothing about De Gea that is worth that is being circulated around. Either the negotiations have already happened, or the thing is taking place so secretly that none of them have been able to break it down. But with every passing day, it does not paint a very pretty picture as far as De Gea's future with the club is concerned, because there are two ways to look at it. If the club did want De Gea, by now the extension would already been announced, and we would have already been looking for prospective other targets here. But now, with 5 days left, and with the talks of we having initial contact with Onana's agent, and the fact that Onana has already changed his agent in order to secure a move away from the club, like there
Yeah,
are a lot of things
it
that
has been
point.
denied. Delvin, it has been denied. The recent update, he has not changed the agent. Agent is the same.
Yeah, but there is still the
Yes,
report about United
his
having
agent has come
open.
told.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We have opened some sort of a dialogue with regards to Andre Onana's transfer. So there is a genuine link that is going on about a pre-keeper whose profile completely fits the way that we want to play, or we want our keeper to play. So, and with 5 days left, are you still sure that this deal is going to happen, or what exactly? Because with every passing day, I genuinely feel that there could be a chance that De Gea walks for free. That is what
Yeah.
I feel.
Yep. I completely agree with the mindset that you're having right now. But the situation is pretty simple. De Gea has agreed new terms. De Gea is ready to sign the new contract. It is from the other side of the board that the contract renew has not been agreed. It is Manchester United that is stalling the deal. It is not De Gea. De Gea wants to stay. He wants to play. He wants to be number one, but Manchester United board are not signing the document that officially confirms De Gea's new contract. So they must have something in their mind. They must believe that the wages are not worth it because we can save the money and we can invest it somewhere else. So it is. I don't know what is happening in the club. I don't think anyone knows that, but it is pretty sure that De Gea has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. He is ready for contract extension, but we are not. We are stalling the deal. We are not signing the document.
So, do you believe that the club has already made its mind that they'd rather let De Gea go at this point rather than
I
keep
think
him to stay?
we
Because
have a
if
meeting. We have a meeting, right? In 27th or 28th, we have a financial some meeting that notification popped. online that it was related to
So
the board
there is
meeting.
the stock exchange opens tomorrow. I think there is an annual general meeting on the 27th or the 29th. I'm not exactly sure of the date. But yeah, that is the initial buzz that is there. And there is a report or a rumor or whatever you say that there could be an announcement about the takeover tomorrow. But at this point, I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying any sort of sources confirming or denying it until and unless there is a club statement saying that this has happened. I am just not buying into any of these narratives. Like, I want to see it on the club website. I want to see it on the club's official Twitter handle. Only then I'm going to believe it, and then I'll wear my Arabian attire that I am so all this while waiting to wear. But that is what it is, man. I'm just not buying any of these hoopla at this point because it's just getting irritating. So with De Gea's, I don't think these two are linked. But my question was basically, do you believe that the club has already
Yes,
made its
I
decision
believe.
as far as the De Gea's
I believe De Gea will sign
situation
a
is
new
concerned?
contract.
And
I believe there will be a contract
huh,
extension.
I thought that the club has already made its mind that they would rather show De Gea the door. But yeah, I think we have opposite opinions in this situation
See,
because I think
it it will all depend. It can see. Even I don't like how De Gea is right now. He doesn't suit our modern game style. I get that. I get the point. But I'm not a big fan of De Gea like couple of people in the group. It's just that you cannot let that player go on free. That is my thought first. Second, do you have the funds? Are you negotiating Dean Henderson sales with anyone? Have you sold any player for even 1 million right now? No, you
Zidane
don't have
Iqbal,
fund.
Zidane
Zidane,
Iqbal.
but yeah, 1 million. 1 million, that is okay. For anything other than that, no. We have no sales. Only prize money is Carabao Cup, that is 5 to 10 million. Uh,
The
it's
top three
Yeah,
prize money also.
top three prize money also. Yeah, it is a pretty dicey situation. Either you would have offloaded your players like Chelsea did, and you would sit here there, yeah, there I can go. We will sign a new keeper. We will and keep Dean Henderson as a backup. I don't know. You have not sold any player. You can't even complete the first signing of the summer. You are stuck in a place that you are not going to get out until and unless you are ruthless with you're how you're conducting yourself in the market. So yes, for me that is the only point that I say that De Gea will renew, because Manchester United board doesn't have, not right to say, but it doesn't have the balls to come up with. They just don't know how to conduct themselves in the market, and that is going to be the wrongdoing for De Gea staying there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think I agree to most of the points that you say. Another important aspect of looking into this transfer window is our search for a striker, which in the midst of all this has taken a back seat or whatever it is. I don't know. But some of our key players have already made moves. Some of our key targets, basically. Marcus Thuram has all but secured an agreement with Inter Milan.
Yes.
So that's one of our key striker targets gone. Then there is Randall Kolo Muani, who Frankfurt have slapped a price tag of 100 on. That automatically has stopped the conversations over there. He was another player that we were interested in. We already know about the fact that we have backed out of a move for Harry Kane due to their price tag again. So who remains in the market are Osimhen and Gonzalo Ramos, both of them who are pretty expensive signings in their own rights as well. So, uh, do you think the striker comes in here, or
Yes.
no? Like,
Yes.
are we going to make do with someone like another Vegost, or what exactly?
No, no, no. Striker signing is going to happen. Even I'm not sure who we are targeting right now. Harry Kane is a name that is being keep popping up. A lot of, I should say, established journalists have said that we have walked away from the move. It is not completely true. We are still in talks with Harry Kane. I guess that is related to the free transfer next season, or I don't know. But we are in talks with Harry Kane. We want Harry Kane as a number 9. But somehow Daniel Levy is not bending on his price tag, and he's asking for 85 million sterling pounds. That is close to 100 million euros. So he is not bending. He is not agreeing to something. It is not even that a deal can be negotiated until and unless Daniel Levy, stops his stubbornness and sits down and talk with Manchester United. He is not a very good person to deal with also. So yes, we are in talks with Harry Kane. We want him as a number nine, but right now the big white egg is stopping us. That is Daniel Levy, and somehow I don't know where we will reach into that. But yes, number nine is coming for sure. Our striker is coming.
Hopefully that does materialize. I mean, it is becoming a problem, but so what do you think is the realistic, like if we have to rate a signing on the chances of it happening, with one being impossible and 10 being that it's only a formality that he's going to join the club, what would you rate the likelihood of Mason Mount happening to United out of 10?
Yeah, it's 10. Either this summer or next summer, it's happening. Mason Mount to Manchester United is done.
What about Moises Caicedo?
Yeah, four, three or four. It's we are going to bid, but we are going to be in the background because Chelsea and Arsenal are leading.
Striker this season. I'm not talking
Yes,
about next season. This season,
yes, 100%. That's a 10 on 10. Strikers coming.
likelihood of De Gea staying
7.5.
and likelihood of De Gea going on a free transfer.
The remaining of it, it's
So two
like
and two and a half.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
75. What about a new goalkeeper coming in, like an Onana, for example?
It's five for me. Three, 4 or 5. Dean Henderson has made it pretty clear that he is leaving. So I guess Nottingham is coming with the bid very soon. So we are signing a goalkeeper, but Onana for me is still on 2 on 10 right now.
Kushagra staying, is that two or is that minus two? I just want to know. Is that minus two? And for which player you're talking about? Is that De Gea or who? So
They
for me,
have.
the Mount deal happening is an eight. I'm not sure whether Mount will come this season, but next season, yeah, eight this season. Uh, Caicedo is a four and a half for me. De Gea staying is a five, and De Gea leaving also is a five. A striker coming in becomes a seven. Uh, then who are we talking about? A new goalkeeper coming in is a six. So this is what I feel as far as the prediction for a decent transfer window is concerned. We cannot expect for an excellent transfer window because of the shit we are in from an ownership perspective. So at this point we just have to make sure we sit and pray, have a prayer circle, which comes around on Twitter, and I just hope. I think if you do not know, with United Trey being suspended from Twitter, hopefully the United jinx is suspended along with him. Both of his accounts have been suspended, so hopefully that's a sign of good things to come as far as United winning matches and having a successful transfer window is concerned. So let's hope for the best in that regard as well. Uh, with that being said, I think we have covered pretty much everything we have had at this point as far as this stream is concerned. So thank you so much, Ojis Bhai, for joining in the stream. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was a pleasure discussing about all these issues or all these scenarios that the club is in. Also, thank you to all of you guys in the chat. Do keep on joining our streams. Do keep liking our streams. Do keep sharing these videos to as many United fans as possible. Also, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We are aiming to reach 2,500 subscribers. So please go ahead and join us in our journey. Follow us on our social media space on Instagram and on Twitter. Do not forget to join our WhatsApp group as well. It is an ever growing family. We always have room for more. So for now, this is Delvin along with Ojis Bhai wishing all of you a good night. Stay safe. Do take care of yourself. I'll see you soon on the other side. Till next time, it's good luck, good wishes, and peace to all. GGMU everyone.